All right, welcome back, everybody. The CCIFSA, quite a mouthful, isn't it? But this is what it stands for, the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation of South Africa. It's set up to assist the formalization of the sector as an industry and role player in the economy. Now, it plays an important role by shaping the identity, the aspirations and relations of people in communities and countries through heritage, visual and performing arts, cinema, music, publishing, fashion and design. So as a way forward, various roadshows will be held in different regions in South Africa by the CCIFSA. And here to tell us more about the roadshows is its interim chair, none other than Miss Yvonne Chaka. So nice to see you.
Thank you very much for having me, Leanne.
So yet another cap you're putting on, hey?
Well, I must say that, you know, being in the music industry for 29 years and complaining that the music industry or the whole creative industry is disjointed, I was quite taken aback when the previous minister called us as musicians. In fact, it was the president in 2009 called all the creative people and said, can you be organized? You know, make sure that there is a place where musicians can call home. Yeah. So I was quite happy that the president said that. And the previous minister took it upon himself to do that. And when Minister Nati came in, he just wanted to rubber stamp everything and said, this has to be done. I was quite happy that, you know, there was a great flow from one minister to the other. Yeah. So CCIFSA, as it's called, you know, people always complain that people in the creative industry die paupers. And this industry, it's a very big industry, you can imagine. Yeah. It shapes the country. It does all sorts of things. So the minister wanted us to put this organization together so that we can have a bargaining power, you know, and we can even go to Parliament and say to them, this is what we don't like, this is what we want to do. Remember, people in the creative industry work for themselves. Yeah. But government will not help you if you are not organized. So we need to have a home where if there's problems, we can talk about it and then we can make sure that these things are done for our children.
So what is the type of work that you actually do? I mean, give us an example of something that CCIFSA has actually managed to achieve.
Well, CCIFSA is going to be a home for the whole creative industry, from visual arts to books, music, everybody in the creative industry. You know, you would then go to CCIFSA if there is a problem, or if you need to do something, you will have, it's like your Kosato, if I may call it.
Indeed, yeah.
It's like your Kosato. It's a home for the creative industry. Yeah. So the minister said to us, get organized, because all you hear is musicians, people in the arts, people in the visual arts, filmmakers, die paupers, or there is just, it's so disjointed. But if we know that there is a home, if there's a show somewhere, or if we need to do something, we know that these people are organized. They will go there and say, okay, we need your people to do X, Y, Z. And everybody will be part of this. Because now, you know, there's few people out there, one there, would get tenders for this, do this and that. But we are not together. Whereas if we are together, we can be doing so many things together and there will be something to look back and say, you know what, these people are organized, these people know their story, and they can work together at the end of the day.
Yeah, certainly. It almost feels like within the creative industry, because it is such a cutthroat industry in a way, it's almost like each man for himself.
It is a dog-eat-another dog industry.
It is a dog-eat-dog industry.
But when people are together, you know, I was looking at the British one. It's amazing that even the parliamentarians know the importance of the creative industry because it brings so much money. I mean, this industry is a huge industry. You can imagine from people who would do books, people who would sing, music, visual art, film. Yeah. So there is so much money there, but it's just so disorganized. So I really hope that if we all come together and have a home, we'll have a bargaining power, we'll talk to government, we'll even talk to the promoters who bring other people here. There'll be workshops, we'll know how to engage with people outside South Africa.
Yeah. Let's take an example that happened now, and perhaps I'm being a little bit out of line by bringing this an example now, but let's take what happened with the Generations actors, and I'm just using it as an example because there's so many other industries that this does happen. If this was the case there, and they were part of CCIFSA, is that something that CCIFSA could have got involved with, negotiated on their behalf, and it could have worked out differently?
I'm actually very happy that you've touched that point. Actors decided to be on their own or just working in silos. if they were part of CCIFSA or an organization like this had been standing and strong, we would negotiate for them. We would go and talk to the producers or other people because they would belong to an organization.
Yeah.
Now you can imagine musicians in America, musicians in Australia, in England, they belong to kind of organizations. That's why there's no exploitation. That's why there's longevity in the industry. So I think we need to begin to think about those things and say, you know what, it's been a very long time that people have been doing things on their own. So if organizations like this are there, people will not be exploited, we'll negotiate on their behalf, and we will know things will be regulated. So this is what we're wanting to work towards.
Is this, would you say, one of the biggest challenges, people being abused in this industry?
Well, it is. I mean, really, you know, you look at great actresses or actors or musicians,
yeah,
or even just people who do craft. You go to these big hotels and you look at these crafts and you say to yourself, wow, and you ask that woman who did this, and she gets only 20 rands.
Yeah.
And somebody sells it for $25,000 or $25,000
yeah, well,
or rents.
Thank you.
And you look at you, and so this really has to come to an end. Everybody has to benefit from this because we are creative people. We are our own bosses, and that's another thing. People in the creative industry should now know that they should be doing things for themselves, and you can't say tomorrow will cater for itself because it will never. So government will not help you if you're not organized. It's high time that we do things for ourselves and stop pointing fingers at people.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that there is social security for these people, well, not these people, for us, because I'm part of them.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that these people, when they die, they are buried properly and with decency. So, you know, with CCIFSA, we're going to make sure that all those things are done. I'm the interim chair. We are going to be having a conference on the 24th and on the 25th and the 26th. So we're inviting everybody. We've got roadshows from today, 10 o'clock at the State Theatre.
Okay.
We're talking to all the creative people. So everybody is welcome to come. Press, everybody. We need to be talking to different people. Obviously, there's challenges somewhere. Other people are organized to start with. So we want those who are organized to come, and we say to ourselves, how did you do it? Where are the challenges? Where are the bottlenecks? How can we work together? I mean, gone are the times that it's for white people, it's for black people. We are the creative industry and we are a rainbow nation, and it's high time that we work together. Because even for sponsorships, you can imagine, it's just a handful of people who get the sponsorship, but because they're organized.
Yeah, indeed they are. And they, you know, one thing that I think you have to keep in mind, and it's a fact, you know, let creatives be creatives and not have to worry about the management side of things, because that's when things start going very, very wrong and the creativity gets lost. Then you start losing your career.
Very
then
true.
Things go very, very wrong. And that's why, you know, perhaps an organization like this is something that can assist, because I think you're touching on a very, very important part. How did you become involved, though?
I was asked by the minister to be part of this, and I really thought, you know, being in this industry for so long, but you know, I've always worked alone, and different people really have been working alone because there was no home where somebody could go and say, how do I help? How do I impart my knowledge? How do I get a skill? Or who do I talk to? And I really thought this is a great, great industry. There is longevity if it's done very well. And, you know, you can encourage young people to be part of this, but we need to form this platform. And if we don't do it, it's now or never.
Okay. So, Yvonne, is there a website where people can get some more details about where the roadshow is going to be taking you?
You know, this is a new organization.
Yeah.
We've been trying to put everything together, but we are squatting somewhere at SABC. We don't have an office as yet, but we're very grateful that SABC has given us the office.
Yeah.
So we're squatting there, and today we'll be at the State Theatre. Tomorrow we're in Cape Town, and then on Wednesday we are, I think, in Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
And so we're doing all the 9 regions. We're going into all the 9 regions, talking to all the people in the creative industry, gathering information so that when the conference comes, people know exactly what needs to be done. And the new committee, when it's put there, we would have laid the foundation for them.
All right. Yvonne, thank you for talking to us. Really, really, I think this is a great idea. Yvonne Chaka, the chairperson of CCIFSA. It's the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation of South Africa. Yvonne is the interim committee chairperson at the moment, and this is just basically formalizing, getting to assist in the formalization of this creative sector that is in desperate need of this, to get rid of exploitation of some very talented people out there. So thank you, Yvonne. Good luck going forward.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's take a quick break.